Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk about social media management, and then in the next video I'm going to talk about social media marketing, and then I'm just going to drop a few tips about approaching both of these different disciplines. And I'm not going to show people how to get started, basically speaking. There are plenty of videos for that. I'm just going to share with you a couple of tips of what I know, and I hope that they would be useful to you, or they would be helpful to you, basically speaking. So I'm going to talk about the basics of social media today. Now, first thing is first, I'd like to talk to you about the difference between social media management and social media marketing. Basically, to put it straight to you, social media management is the managing of a social media page. Now, it could be any social media, or it could be many social medias, right? It depends on if you're specializing as a social media manager or as a digital marketer, and you have been given one or two social medias to social media pages of different social media to manage. Now, the most common one is obviously Facebook, but some companies do utilize Instagram, Pinterest, Reddit, LinkedIn, and all the popular ones. And then social media marketing is the marketing of a social media page, but it takes it a step further in terms of marketing, as in you utilize social media to bring in clients or prospects for your business, basically speaking. So that's pretty much it. Now, with social media management, basically the usual stuff that you see happening is that a company will come through and create the social media page, add the required stuff, the required information, send the likes to a couple of friends, and then just done. They don't update it. It stays like this for years, until eventually they decided, well, I want to update this, and then they hire a social media marketer or digital marketer. Now, this is how it is. So if you are a social media manager or marketer, you might find that the page you're given is like this, but sometimes you may find that the page you're given actually has content and has quite a lot of stuff set up to it. And so but this is what you can expect to find. Now, when you start and create your new page, obviously you want to add the required stuff. You want to add the cover page, you want to add the logo, you want to add the information, right? The description, the numbers, the email, the business hours, the category of the business. Just add as much information as possible. And then you want to start with a few basic posts, and you want to invite as many of your friends as you can. This is the basics of it. This is how you start with everything. Now, the question does come down to what things you should have here, right? Here, so home, services, reviews, shop, and more, right? So it depends on your business. If your business is a service-based business, then you want to have services, reviews, and maybe not shop. But if you do have a shop, then you can add it, right? So you can add offers, videos, photos, events, and stuff like that. And then if you're an e-commerce store, then most obviously you want to have shop, you want to have reviews, you want to have offers, and then you might have photos or videos, or you want to have about or community or jobs even. It just really depends. Then over here, the call now is, well, in this button, what should you have? I recommend you have either the WhatsApp or the call now button, or a third option is to have a call to action that brings people to the website, that funnels them straight to the call action still, all right, or to the product or service that you want to bring them to. If you are an individual, right, and you'll be dealing with people face to face and talking to them over like WhatsApp and stuff like that, I do recommend that you utilize the WhatsApp button. But if you're a business, you know, you have offices and you have all that type of stuff, and you don't want to get too personal with customers, then I would recommend you utilize the edit call now button, you know, so to get people to call. There are also other options, you know, the learn more now or like the shop now button that can be put up here. And then for the posts, you know, there's two types of posts. There's a regular just picture and then a picture with a call to action. I recommend that you have a mix between the two, right? So you don't just have straight up pictures without any call to action, but also you don't have pictures with just call to action still, you know. So just a mix of this would be very, very nice. You know, a video here and there would also be just as useful. All right. And then another thing that you want to set up, right, is that once you make a post, make sure to post it to a group. It will go a long way to bringing you close to people. Now, it depends on how your company wants to approach its whole content production and all that type of stuff. But you know, I would recommend having posts for each event, having adverts, having, you know, some show of like the staff members and pictures with the staff members and the customers and everything. It really goes a long way in creating engagement and just getting people to see that this is indeed a legitimate business that cares about its people. Now, so this is just really all about the presentation. I do recommend that with the first posts that you do, you try to experiment a little bit about the colors that people would respond to, or the types of posts that that people will respond to, because with Facebook, posts can be hit or miss, you know. And then try to see which post, you know, responds, like gets the best response, and try to improve on that type of post. And then once you have, you know, a formula of what your people respond to, then you can try to perfect that before you can jump onto adding a second different type of post. And then that's what I think. Like, that's the advice that I can give you. Just make sure to, you know, have everything as clean and as nice. So if it's a service-based business, I almost always recommend that, you know, the face of the boss or the staff members have to be there, you know. There has to be some kind of human interaction just going on. People like to see that. I'm not gonna lie to you, people really like to see such things. So you just want to make sure that you set that up and have that set up, you know. And then yeah, this causes Facebook is a social media with people, you know. So if you create content without like any people onto it, then sometimes they don't respond, you know. So you really want to make sure that you think about that and you take care to imagine that. Now, another thing that I want to bring your attention to is to make sure to utilize the scheduling tool for doing the posts on social media, right? So it's very good. It's very useful because then you get to be always on time. Now, it's a tricky question about how much posting you can do in terms of like the social media and what people would respond to, you know, all that type of stuff. If you post too much, you risk exhausting the attention of the people. If you post less, then you risk, you know, people kind of like forgetting your brand and like, you know. So you have to strike a balance between the two, and there's an amount of posts that you can take. Back in the day, it was recommended that you do at least 4 posts per week. So you're looking at at least you know, 12 posts, right? Or more. You're looking, yeah, look, my maths is my maths is tricking me, but you're looking at a couple of more posts, more than 10 at least, per month, right? So some companies actually do offer you 10 to 14 posts per month, so you just want to try and strike a balance between that. But if you can, if the capability is there, then I would recommend also posting at least a half of the month. So for 15 days straight, posting every other day, right? You can take it far and post each and every day, but like I said before, you risk exhausting the attention of the people, and the people just like ignoring you. So yeah, and then I do recommend also boosting your posts if you can, especially the advert based posts that you can do. I do recommend liking the comments that your customers or that the engagers just do. I do recommend that you also comment back, and talk to them and communicate with them, and just make sure to engage the community. It will really be helpful in bringing everything together. You have to be exactly careful also with what you do in your account. You can actually get your account shadow banned on Facebook due to what you post, and due to the region that you're in. Different region have different things that they don't want people to post on Facebook, and Facebook takes steps to censor that. So it's something that you also have to keep in mind. But this is pretty much it. And also don't forget to post stories. All right, it might seem like stories don't do much, but just believe me when I tell you this, stories do actually make a small bit of difference. And if it's a good story, then it can actually reach far more people than you actually think. All right, so these are just a couple of tips that I have for the social media management that you can do. Just always make sure that your social media is on time. Just always make sure to do at least more than 10 posts per month. Try to run ads for ads-based posts. Try to answer your engagements. Try to schedule your posts if you can. Try to get them in the morning, get them running in the morning or at night. Yeah, these are just the basics. And last but not least, always have a look at your insights and make sure that you are taking care of you're taking care to reach the goals that you're supposed to reach, and your key metric statistics, and just making sure that you're reaching the goals that you want to reach. It's difficult to control whether or not the reach will always be high or low, because there's no controlling how people feel about about a post or a product. But generally speaking, you just want to make sure that you exhibit some consistency, and you should be known to be the type to do this. And you may notice some people copying the way that you do your social media posts, because for some niches, for some businesses, there's no formula for them to follow. So all they can do is really just copy you and copy what you do. And you know what they say, plagiarism is a form of flattery. So you do have to keep in mind that then you always have to improve and always have to try to be better than you were yesterday. So yeah, thanks for watching the video, and I hope that a couple of the tips that I talked about will be very helpful to you. Now on the next video, I'm going to be talking about social media marketing and just a couple of things that you can do about that. There's a lot that I'd like to talk about there. And yeah, see you next time.